Okay. Okay, recording has already started. So, last meeting, I believe we ended with this topic, no? With this question item. Which of the following is most likely true? If Shelton David Corp has a stock investment consisting of 30% of the outstanding stock of a certain company, right? No consolidation is needed. The decision of the CEO is correct. The CEO is not in favor of presenting the Consa FS because it is only required if the ownership exceeds 50%. That's the that's the assumption, the presumption. Whenever there is more than half of the controlling interest possessed by a single entity, control is established. Okay. Sige, let's talk about the basics of consolidation. Let's talk about the basics of consolidation. Okay, the question is all of the following statements are correct, except, okay, I'll give you 2 minutes to answer. Okay, please enter your answers, everyone. Please enter your answers, everyone. Everyone, please enter your answers. Okay, on 1/1/2008, LOU Company acquired 80% of SUB for 1.2 million. The remaining 20% of company SUV is valued at 300K. So the total consideration would be 1.2 plus 300,000. Company SUV's net identifiable assets are appraised for 1 million, but on SUB's books is 850K. The difference is attributable to a piece of land SUB owns that has a book value of 300,000 and a fair market value of 450K. So the reason why there is a 150,000 difference is due to the fact that the fair value of the land is 150,000 higher than its book value. All of the following statements are correct, except, okay, so 1.2 plus 300K is 1.5 million. 1 million, no? 1 million, that's the fair value of net assets. There's a difference of 500,000. That would be your goodwill. Letter A, this is a correct statement. LOU will record a goodwill of 500K. The difference between 1.5 consideration and the fair value of the assets, 1 million. A, LOU will record the land at 450K. Yes, the parent or the acquirer is to use the fair value at the acquisition date in recording, no? In recording assets and liabilities on its consolidated balance sheet prepared immediately after the acquisition. Letter boy is a true statement. That would leave us with C or dog. Tama naman yung dog, no? LOU does not include SUB's equity on its consolidated balance sheet. Why? Okay, sa Bascom, yung equity lang ng acquirer yung sinasama. The incorrect statement here, very good, is letter C. Why is letter C wrong? LOU will record its investment in SUB at 1.2M on its consolidated balance sheet prepared immediately after the acquisition. Well, what is wrong here is that you are to record the investment in SUB only on the balance sheet of SUB as a parent. But in the consolidated balance sheet, there will be no more investment in SUB. No? Sorry, mali ako, no? LOU pala. No? Si LOU yung parent, di ba? In the books of the parent, there is an investment in SUB at 1.2 million. So sa books ni LOU company, meron tayong 1.2 million investment in SUB. LOU as a parent, meron siyang investment in SUB at 1.2. But when you consolidate the balance sheet, this will be canceled out and lahat ng assets and liabilities ni SUB, isasama na natin sa consolidated balance sheet. Rather than 1.2, we would include all the assets of SUB minus all its liabilities, making letter C as the only incorrect statement. Next. How about this one? 2 minutes. Okay, please enter your answers. Please enter your answers. Okay, so let's do it together. The Element Company purchased 1,000 Company X bonds on December 1, 2009 for 1,050 per bond. When it purchased these bonds, Element did not intend to sell them in the short term in order to raise cash or to hold them until maturity. From the looks of it, this is an available for sale security. There's no intention to sell in the short term, nor is there an intention to hold until maturity. Available for sale security yan. It purchased 200 shares of Company B stock at $50 per share on December 3, 20X9. Company B has issued 5 million shares of stock. It sold 120 shares of Company B stock on December 16, 20X9 for $53 per share. So out of the 200, 120 were sold, no? At the end of December, Company B stock was selling for $52 per share. Company X bonds were selling for $1,000 per bond. How would these transactions be reflected on LMN's financial statements issued as of December 31, 20X9? Let's start with the bonds. There are 1,000 bonds purchased and they are unsold as of the end, no? It cost 1,050 to have them. It's now valued at 1,000. There's negative 50. Such loss for an available for sale security would go to other comprehensive income. Mapupunta ito sa other comprehensive income. Okay, 50,000 negative. Yung company B shares, the one that was already sold, out of 200, 120 were sold for 53. 53 minus 50, $3 times 120, 360. This is a realized gain to be reflected in the profit or loss. For the portion that is not yet sold, that's 80. 80 times 52 na lang, no? Yung stock price niya. Minus 50 is 2. 80 times 2 is 160. Unrealized gain, still P&L. The correct answer is B as in boy. Realized gain of 360, income statement. Unrealized gain of 160, income statement. But the unrealized loss of 50K, OCI. No? Correct answer here is B as in boy. Pagdating sa equity, no? Investment in stocks. Wala nang OCI dito, ha? Okay. If you hold less than 20%, you just use the fair value method. There's no more treatment that will lead to OCI. Available for sale securities is a category only for debt investments. No? Dito sa US GAAP, yung debt investments lang pwedeng mag-OCI. No? Yung debt investments lang pwede mag-OCI. Please answer the next one. Go. Okay, ito dapat alam niyo na to. Enter your answers right now. So this one is pretty easy. SP Pharmaceuticals is a company that specializes in research and development of new medications, acquisition of patents for new medications. SP follows IFRS accounting standards. Okay, we're looking for the correct statement. Enter your answers now. Enter your answers now. We are looking for the correct statement. Okay. If we are going to use US GAAP, the only acceptable method is the cost model, and the cost of the intangible should exclude research and development costs. So for PPE and intangible assets, if there is an available market, active market, IFRS allows the use of revaluation model. In US GAAP, it's only the cost model. Correct answer is C. If you use IFRS, the default is still, the norm is to use the cost model, but the revaluation model may also be allowed. Letter C is the correct answer. Intangible assets may be revalued to fair value if, that should be a big if, ha? If there is an active market for the asset. Pwede mong gamitin yung revaluation model kapag meron lang active market sa asset. So for both property, plant, and equipment and intangible asset, IFRS would allow cost model and revaluation model. US GAAP, cost model ang pwede, no? US GAAP, cost model lang. How about this one? Enter your answers now. Please enter your answers now. Okay, sorry for that one. Mali pala na pindot ko. Thank you for that. Thank you for reminding. Ito, sige, 1 minute. I'll give you 1 minute. Sorry for that one. Okay. Naulit pala. Ayan. Please answer. Okay, as part of a major restructuring of business units, General Security and Industrial Conglomerate operating solely in the US, subject to US GAAP, recognizes significant impairment loss resulting in an overall net loss on the income statement. The Investor Relations Group is preparing an informational packet for shareholders, employees, and the media. Which of the following statements is most accurate? Okay. Dito sa US GAAP, kapag meron kang write down, hindi mo na pwedeng bawiin yon. Enter your answers. Everyone, please enter your answers. Okay, very good. No? Write downs taken on asset values cannot be reversed in later years if market conditions improve. Okay. Pagdating sa US GAAP, ano yung ginagawa natin? Okay? In US GAAP, we can never reverse the impairment loss. Year one, there's an impairment loss. In US GAAP, there will be no more chance of recovery. The rule in IFRS is different for indefinite life intangibles such as brand and goodwill and other asset. So kung definite yung life ng asset, pwede mong bawiin as if the impairment never happened. No? Based on the values, the book values, assuming that the impairment never actually happened. So, hindi katulad ng US GAAP na bawal talaga yung reversal ng impairment loss. You cannot declare or you cannot recognize a reversal, no? A gain on the reversal of impairment loss in US GAAP. In IFRS, there are different rules for indefinite life intangibles and others. If the life of the intangible is indefinite, ganun din yung rule, bawal bawiin. Impairment loss cannot be reversed. So for example, goodwill na impair, hindi na yan pwedeng ibalik sa dati. Pero, pag tangible yung asset, o kaya intangible pero may definite life siya, pwede natin i-recover hanggang dun lang sa value na assuming there is no impairment loss. Kunyari, yung cost ng machine ay 500K. No? 500K. After ng year 1, in-impair mo. At the end of year 1, in-impair mo. Year 2, pwede mo bang bawiin? Oo. Pero hanggang doon sa value lang ng year 2, assuming hindi nangyari yung ating impairment. Okay? So that is the rule for IFRS. US GAAP never. IFRS, yes if it's not an indefinite life intangible. Please answer this one. Enter your answers. After an impairment loss is recognized, the adjusted carrying amount of the intangible asset shall be its new accounting basis. Which of the following statements about subsequent reversal of a previously recognized impairment loss is correct? Enter your answers now. Please enter your answers. Everyone. Okay. Again, pag silent, US GAAP ginagamit natin. If it is US GAAP, it is never allowed. Prohibited yun, no? It is prohibited. How about this one? Under US GAAP, which of the following expenditures qualifies for asset capitalization? Enter your answers, please. Please enter your answers now. Which one would qualify for asset capitalization? Basta bawal yung research and development, ha? In US GAAP, research and development is not allowed for capitalization. So, allowed yung legal costs associated with obtaining a patent on a new product. Prototype testing, prototype modification of design, engineering staff in development, A, B, and C, it's either research or development mga yan. But legal costs that is associated with obtaining a patent on a new product, these kinds of costs can be capitalized as part of your intangible asset. No? Patent, an intangible asset. D as in dog. Very good. How about this one? Enter your answers now. Please enter your answers. Okay na? Enter your answers now. All of the following statements concerning impairment are correct, except letter C. Why is letter C incorrect? Because reversal of previous asset impairments are indeed not allowed in US GAAP, but it is possible in IFRS. So letter C is half wrong. It's not allowed in US GAAP, that's true, but it's not accurate to say that it's not allowed in IFRS. Gusto ko ngayon pag-usapan yung letter dog, no? Yung impairment testing. Kapag pinag-uusapan natin yung definite life intangibles, no? Definite life assets, in US GAAP, goodwill is tested with a two-step approach. In IFRS, it is only a one-step approach. Allow me to discuss impairment testing under IFRS first. In IFRS, this is what we must do. Ito yung gagawin natin ha pag IFRS. We take the carrying value of the asset, aka book value, compare it with the recoverable amount. We take the carrying value of the asset, book value yun ha, carrying value is book value, compare it with the recoverable amount. The recoverable amount is the higher between fair value less cost to sell and value in use. So what is the recoverable amount? It is the higher between fair value less cost to sell and value in use. Ang mas mataas dito sa dalawa, yun yung recoverable amount. No? The higher between fair value less cost to sell and value in use. Ha? Okay. That is the recoverable amount. Whichever is higher, ha? Whichever is higher. So, if the recoverable amount is higher than the carrying value, your carrying value, which is the book value, will be as is. Kasi whichever is lower, di ba? So, kung lower yung carrying value compared sa recoverable amount, tama lang itong carrying value. Yun na yung book value pa rin. But if the recoverable amount is lower than the carrying value, impairment loss ang tawag doon. The impairment loss would be the difference between recoverable amount and carrying value, assuming the recoverable amount is lower. So if recoverable amount is lower, yung difference ni carrying value tsaka recoverable amount, yun yung impairment loss. Okay? Now, under US GAAP, you have to undergo two steps. Step 1 is the recoverability test. Step number 1 is called recoverability test. You compare the book value or carrying value with the undiscounted cash flows. Kung naalala nyo itong value in use, discounted cash flow to, no? Present value ng future cash flow ng asset. Yun yung value in use. Pagdating kasi sa US GAAP, the carrying value is compared with the undiscounted cash flows. No discounting should be made. If the undiscounted cash flows are higher than the carrying value, there is no impairment. Kunyari, carrying value, 100K. Bilangin mo ano yung mga cash flows niya. Kikitain niya over the next years. So kung yung 100K na carrying value mababawi ng undiscounted cash flow, there is no impairment. But you have to proceed to step 2 if the carrying value is higher than the undiscounted cash flow. If the undiscounted cash flows are lower than the carrying value, proceed to step 2. You compare the carrying value with the fair value of the asset. Walang less cost to sell, ha? Walang less cost to sell. Yung raw na fair value lang, ha? Fair value lang. Or the discounted cash flows, whichever can be reliably determined more, no? Whichever can be reliably determined. So step 2, hanapin nyo yung difference ng carrying value or kung ano man itong dalawa, no? Ang mas makukuha natin. As a rule, pag madaling ibenta yung asset, use fair value. Pag hindi mabenta yung asset, you take the present value of its future cash flow. That is step 2. You calculate the impairment loss, the difference between fair value or discounted cash flow, and the carrying value. Again, Ano yung two steps dito sa US GAAP? Test whether the asset's cash flows can recover the carrying value. Recoverability test. Are the undiscounted cash flows higher than the carrying value? Well and good. Walang impairment. But if the undiscounted cash flows are less than the carrying value, you should proceed to step 2, impairment loss test. You are going to measure the fair value or discounted cash flows, whichever can be determined more reliably, and then compare how low is it compared to the carrying value. The difference is the impairment loss. Difference is the impairment loss. Okay. How about this one? Okay. Please enter your answers now. Please enter your answers now. Okay. Once a recoverability test has been performed, how is loss of impairment calculated differently? So step 2 na pinag-usapan ha. If the asset has a resale value or it doesn't have a resale value. We can define resale value as your fair value, no? Kapag nabebenta, fair value. Kung hindi, kunin nyo yung discounted cash flow sa paggamit ng asset. Correct answer is D as in dog. The loss of impairment for the asset with a resale value would be calculated based on the difference between the book value and resale value. The loss of impairment for the asset without a resale value would be calculated based on the difference between book value and present value of future cash flows. Correct answer is D as in dog. Okay? D as in dog. Okay, any questions? Okay, any questions? Okay, let me end the recording now.